Okay, NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day. This is the recap and review, and yeah, it's freezing. It's not as bad as it was last night, but it's still kind of bad. Um, the heat goes, and then it kind of stops because that's what it has to do. It cycles. If it reaches a certain temperature, it's not supposed to exceed. Especially now because we have like a smart heater that's better at detecting that. The problem is when it stops, it just stops, and the temperature drops like rapidly. So. Yeah. Anyway, before we get to the matches, the first bit of breaking news is the new NXT. Well, I guess we have two new NXT signees. The first is longtime Impact Women's Champion Tara Valkyrie, who is the wife of guy on the main roster, and now I just blanked. So we're getting a family reunion, I guess, there. And LA Knights debuted. He has signed and debuted. The former Eli Drake in Impact. He came in, he ran down Wade Barrett, and then Wade Barrett sung his praises. So I guess that works. Anyway, our first match of the night was the Women's Dusty Road Tag Team Classic Finals. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez against Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. Apparently, the gear that Moon and Blackheart came out to was inspired by the movie My Bloody Valentine. From the looks, I'm guessing it was probably the original My Bloody Valentine, not the remake. I actually like the My Bloody Valentine remake. I have the 3D Blu-ray. Yeah. It's not the purposely made 3D Blu-ray that only works in 3D Blu-ray players. It's just one that has glasses with it. That was actually not that bad. Anyway. Gonzalez slammed Blackheart a couple of times. Like they tried to, both Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart tried to use their agility a bit more with Raquel Gonzalez, but Gonzalez just would throw them around. She threw Blackheart into the ring plexiglass a couple of times. Dakota Kai tagged in the hit kind of a double team pump kick spine buster on Shotzi Blackheart. Blackheart managed to fight back and locked Dakota Kai in a cloverleaf. Ember Moon tagged in and they caught I think it was Dakota Kai in like a inverted Boston Crab slam. They grabbed her legs and they sort of flipped over in a monkey flip type maneuver. Gonzalez came in and hit Moon with fallaway slam. Kai hit a flying lariat off of Gonzalez's shoulders. At this point, Gonzalez powerbombed Blackheart into the plexiglass at that point. Moon hit a lariat. Ducked a lariat and caused Raquel Gonzalez to hit Dakota Kai. Sorry, my notes, my handwriting's not that good. Blackheart hit a big missile drop kick. And then they fought about to the outside of the ring. Ember Moon hit a big crossbody to the outside of the ring. Blackheart and Moon hit a kind of dual crossbody, or a double team maneuver out to the outside of the ring. But then Kai came in and hit the chiropractor. Gonzalez then got in. They had an entrance ramp that led up to the ring. Gonzalez threw Ember Moon off of that ramp, hit Shotzi with a move on the ramp, and then brought her back into the ring and hit the one-arm powerbomb for the 3 count of the victory. Not entirely surprising. I think in this case, you have a more experienced tag. The idea that you're entering a more experienced tag team against the put-together ones. I mean, Kai and Gonzalez have technically been a team for about a year now, so it would make a little bit more sense to do that with them than to have them go over. I know the tradition with the Dusty Rhodes Classic, at least on the men's side, has been the cobbled together teams usually winning, but in this case, I think it was right that they did the more experienced team and kind of helped build this thing a little bit more. Also, by winning this, they get a shot at the Women's Tag Team Championships, and I do have to wonder how this is going to play out, because even though they've been heels, you could, I think, technically book them as faces in this. You have the history between Dakota Kai and Shayna Baszler. You actually have a nice kind of contrast because you have, Kai is maybe not the technical wrestler that Baszler is, but at the same time, she's more agile. She can powerhouse there, but then you have the real big powerhouse in Gonzalez, where you have the real big powerhouse in Nia Jax. No, I'm not going to make that reference right now. Sorry. Anyway, so that could really work out there. I think this is going to lead to some very interesting things. I'd like to see what they do down the line. Okay, our next match is the North American Championship match, Johnny Gargano against Kushida. Right away, Kushida comes out to his music, and then we see the Gargano, the Gargano Way, whatever the faction's called, backstage. They're making their way for the ring entrance. And then, unbeknownst to Johnny or anyone, Dexter Lumis slips out and chloroforms Austin Theory and basically abducts him. Gargano does not realize this until they're halfway down the entrance ramp, and he sends Candice LeRae and Indy Blackwell to go look for him. So right off the bat, Kushida went for the hoverboard lock, but Gargano kind of fell back into the ropes. Gargano tried to roll out of a headlock, but Kushida helped maintain the hold through the whole thing. Again, a lot of real technical grappling in this, a lot of holds, submission holds. They fought to the outside. Kushida hit a Falcon Arrow outside the ring. He followed that up with a chicken wing suplex. Gargano hit a neck breaker through the ropes on the ring apron. Both men attempted roll-ups out of that. Kushida dodged a kick and put on an ankle lock. Kushida blocked a slingshot spear and then hit it into a bridging Northern Lights suplex. It's actually a rather impressive block of the spear because he didn't go backwards or anything. Like, he just caught Gargano like that just enough to stop the momentum, and he went right into the Northern Lights suplex, the bridging Northern Lights. So, yeah, Kushida hit a kind of an arm bulldog in sending Gargano shoulder first into the ring post. Gargano, they fought on the outside a little bit. Kushida hit chicken wing suplex into the turnbuckle. He then hit a super Spanish fly and into an armbar. Gargano fought out of that. They fought to the outside ramp. Gargano was not really paying attention, and Kushida hit a big running punt to Gargano's elbow again. But then Kushida locked on the hoverboard lock in the ring, but in the process, his head was a little too low, and Gargano managed to back Kushida up into the ring ropes and do kind of a slingshot catapult which caught Kushida's neck. Gargano then hit two slingshot DDTs, one on the ramp, one in the ring for the 3 count and the victory. Overall, it's a good match. I will say this, after that there was no more Dexter Lumis, so I mean, it's one of those, I think they should have maybe put the belt on Kushida in this case, but the way this was built, it's like it was less the Kushida feud and more Dexter Lumis because he keeps popping up and interfering. So, yeah, it's like, what story are you trying to tell with this? Because you were telling one story and then you were telling the other story too. So it's like, yeah, again, like the vignette was all Gargano and Kushida, and then like a little passing reference to Dexter Lumis. And then, yeah, it's like, okay, but Dexter Lumis has been interfering almost as much as Kushida has. So, you know, are you going to follow through on that? Like, so, you know, it was a great match. To be honest, I probably put this as match of the night. I just thought this was really well done, really well executed. So, yeah, it's just, again, I don't know where they're really going with this. Okay, so yeah, I had to look up. Tara Valkyrie's married to John Morrison. Okay, anyway, next match is the Men's Dusty Road Tag Team Classic Finals. MSK, formerly the Rascals and Impact, against the Grizzled Young Veterans of Zach Gibson and James Drake. Gibson came out with the microphone and ran down MSK during their intro. They immediately got into it. Nash Carter hit a corkscrew crossbody. Lee hit a jumping headset. Wes Lee hit a jumping head scissors on Zach Gibson. Lee then hit kind of a corkscrew or a cartwheel plancha to the outside. Kind of tweaked his knee in the process a little bit there. He was selling it a little bit. Gibson distracted Lee, which allowed the Grizzled Young Veterans to hit a drop kick into a flatliner. Carter eventually got the hot tag to Lee. Lee hit a Gibson with a flipping Pele kick. Carter hit a springboard cutter onto Gibson after that. The Grizzled Young Veterans hit a big double team maneuver, but only got a 2 count out of it. Or I think the MSK broke the pin. Excuse me. MSK hit a swanton corkscrew combo. And eventually the Grizzled Young Veterans went for the ticket to Mayhem. but Lee managed to just break it up in time, and then MST3K, sorry, MSK hit corkscrew blockbuster for the 3 count of the victory to win. Yeah, this was kind of surprising. I mean, to have the Grizzled Young Veterans go through last year and lose in the finals, and then have them do it again. Hopefully they actually intend to use them now, because they kind of disappeared after that the first time. I know COVID had a lot to do with that, but still, it was kind of one of those things, like they just vanished and then popped right back up. And I guess in a way it makes sense right now, since the winner of this gets an NXT Tag Team Championship shot, and Lorcan and Birch are heels, so you probably want a babyface team in there, and MSK would certainly fit that mold a lot better than the Grizzled Young Veterans do. They're just kind of a little too heelish. But overall, this was a really good match. Had a couple of slow points in it. Don't know if I would put this ahead or behind. I think I would probably put this a little behind the women's tag team match. I think that one had a little bit more passion in this. The other one just, again, a lot of high spots, a little too much flipping from the team formerly known as the Rascals. So, yeah, overall, though, it was a decent enough match. And then after that, we had the Cameron Grimes music video, because they're doing the joke now of Cameron Grimes making millions of dollars because he got into the GameStop Wall Street shenanigans. Not GameStop, GameStop stock with the Wall Street shenanigans there. Or the Reddit bets or whatever it was called. So, yeah, that's what they're doing there. So, timely commentary. Probably will not age particularly well. If Cameron Grimes ever had a female valet at some point, it could be revealed that she actually won the money. Do the DDP thing. I mean, that would work. Who knows? Okay, our next match is the triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship. Io Shirai against Toni Storm and Mercedes Martinez. Right off the bat, Martinez dropped... Mercedes Martinez jumped Shirai right after the bell rang, at least before. No, it was during the intro, actually. But then Storm jumped Martinez. Shirai got in and hit Storm with a big flapjack. Martinez hit a neck breaker off of the apron onto Toni Storm, that is. Shirai then hit a missile dropkick on Martinez. Let's see. Storm actually dodged, tried to hit both of them. And then Storm hit, sidewalk slam, Bossman sidewalk slam onto Shirai. Shirai then pushed Storm put Storm in a crossface, but then Martinez got up and put Shirai into a dragon sleeper, so that kind of eventually broke that hold. They fought to the outside of the ring. Toni Storm there was obviously a spot that was going to involve the announce table, because Storm started cleaning it off, and in the process of removing everything, the table just collapsed. And they're just kind of standing there for a couple of seconds. And Wade Barrett tried his darndest to pass it off. He said, obviously all the action probably just weakened the table a little bit. I mean, I think he said during the tag team match there was a point there, because I neglected, there was a spot in the tag team match, I think it was supposed to be a doomsday device onto the announce table, but they didn't quite hit it just right, and as a result, Wesley missed, and he just went straight onto the floor in the background. Oof. And I wonder if that maybe did jostle something, because it's like she's clearing it off and then suddenly it just goes poof. And they're trying to justify it. Anyway, the table collapsed. So instead, Storm just got DDT'd on the outside of the ring. Shirai then climbed one of the light supporters and a crossbody onto Storm and Martinez. Martinez came back in and hit a Fisherman Buster on Storm, but then Storm came back, hit the Storm Zero. She then went for a flying headbutt and hit that, but then Shirai hit a moonsault onto both women and covered Martinez for the win. Afterwards, it looked like Martinez was maybe selling a knee injury, so maybe it's a bad one. I hope not. But yeah, again, Mercedes Martinez just got back, but yeah, it looked like something had tweaked her knee really bad because she was holding it, and it just looked a little too realistic to be staged. But still, Shirai won. This match, again, not really, I mean, obviously, the horrible botch of the announce table aside, it was still pretty good. Again, I think part of the problem is, Shirai, the idea is Shirai, when she's doing her moonsault, she's supposed to be off camera, but you could see her in the corner. She's taking up about this much of the picture, about, yeah, like maybe more like here. You could see like her arm and her ring gear was sort of pinkish, so you could kind of see it. And it's like, well, I can see Shirai's right there. You're not surprising anyone with the moonsault. So, yeah, I figured, well, if she hits that, unless Storm backs out of the way, Shirai's retaining her title. And again, I don't know what they're doing here, because, they're sort of building up Storm versus Shirai, but Martinez, I think, has just as much a valid claim, so I guess are you going to get another triple threat match? I mean, Bianca Belair is not challenging for the NXT Women's Championship, so, I don't think that's really going to be too much of a problem. So, yeah, again, overall, it's an enjoyable match, botches aside, but still was pretty fun. And that leads us to our main event for the evening, the NXT Championship match between Finn Balor and Pete Dunne. Right off the bat, Balor tried to put on a lot of arm wringers, Dunne fought out of it, hit a monkey flip, locked Balor in a head scissors. The whole night, Dunne was targeting Balor's jaw, which is not fully recovered. He's wrestling with a fractured jaw. And also the fingers that he attacked a few weeks ago as well. Balor attempted to roll up but got caught in a guillotine. Dunne fought, again, targeted Balor's arm. Balor tried to put Dunne in an ankle lock. He kicked Dunne into the ankle, and then kind of got him back into an advantage. Dunne attempted kind of a gourd buster type maneuver, but his knee was starting to sell himself there, or he started selling a knee injury at that point. Balor came back in a lariat. Dunne hit a jumping, what did I write here? No, jammed Balor's fingers into the mat. Basically, Balor's tried to lock on an STF, but that just enabled Dunne to grab the finger and do like that. So, again, they're going through there. Dunne blocked a Pele kick and hit a headbutt. Balor hit his corner dropkick. He went for the coup de grace, but Dunne countered that into a guillotine. Balor fought out of that and tried to fought out of a bitter end attempt to try to lock on an octopus, but Dunne fought out of that, got a low blow and then hit the bitter end, but Balor kicked out. Balor countered another bitter end into a DDT. He then hit his drop kick. He ripped out Dunne's mouth guard, hit a drop kick, coup de grace, and then the 1916 for the 3 count of the victory. This match was fine. A lot of rest holds in this, unfortunately. It's like, yeah, the whole targeting of the finger got a little repetitive in there. I think it needed a little more high impact action running back and forth. Just a little bit. I think it kind of like, that's why I preferred the North American Championship match. Like, they had the holds in there, but they had a lot of action in between, and this one didn't quite have enough of that. So the match pace just felt a little off on that. Anyway, Balor was celebrating, going up the ramp, but then Lorcan and Burch jumped him. All 3 men ganged up on Balor. The Undisputed Era then hit the ring, got the bad guys out. O'Reilly and Balor shook hands, having earned everyone's respect. But then suddenly out of nowhere, Adam Cole super kicked Finn Balor, and when O'Reilly called him out on it, Cole super kicked O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong just stood there looking confused, caught in the middle. So, yep, looks like the Undisputed Era is done. Dunyan rings. Bobby Fish wasn't there because I believe he has COVID. At least I think somewhere he had it. So yeah, I guess that's why he wasn't involved in this. So yeah, I guess that does leave one dangling thread. Again, it looks like Strong is kind of caught in the middle, but yeah, or at least Cole is out of the Undisputed Era, and I mean, in a way, it makes sense because Cole's a much better heel than he ever was a babyface. Like, that character is so naturally heelish that there's really no way he could, he has the Shawn Michaels athletic ability, but he doesn't quite have the the charm that Shawn Michaels had that could work as a babyface, where you could kind of laugh at him a little bit when his heel antics were involved. He's just kind of a jerk, or a bro douche, to be more precise. Not in real life, obviously, but you get the idea. So yeah, that does set up some things. Unfortunately, it's one of those, I don't know what they're going to do with Balor now. Again, like, I've made my feelings clear that I don't like the fact that Finn Balor's back in NXT, so... But again, I'm already thinking Cole's long in the tooth. It's like, I don't want a Finn Balor-Adam Cole feud. Like, no, I don't want Adam Cole winning the championship back. I want new opponents. Again, I know they've been talking about trying to get Walter back over. That's the match I'd kind of want to see. That'd be kind of fun. I don't know what they're going to do with Pete Dunne right now, and it's just, yeah, I don't know if this was maybe the right time to do that. Just, again, like I said, overall the match was fine. It just, again, pacing was a little slow at some points, just for my taste. It's almost funny. It's almost the inverse of the tag match. There weren't enough high spots in that, I thought. Where there were too many high spots in that men's tag match, I thought there were too few here, if that made any sense. So, yeah. Overall, though, I'm still going to give NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day an A. Like I said, the downsides were just little nitpicks here and there. Didn't quite amount enough to really downgrade too much. Again, I'm left with a lot of questions, and not all of them are necessarily good. But yeah, I'll still give it an A. Okay, so yeah, we're getting a surprise movie review next week. I'll review Nomadland because that's premiering on Hulu. It's gotten a lot of awards buzz, so it should probably be a good one to cover there. Then we're going to have the random trade review on the Cthulhu Tales Omnibus. And then we are having the Elimination Chamber recap and review, which will be the final WWE Network pay-per-view, because next month, Fastlane will actually be on Peacock, because that's when the merger will happen. So yeah, I got to figure out how to get Peacock onto the Fire Stick, because right now you can't get it unless you do this backdoor thing or you use a web browser or something like that. It's just like, just hammer out your dang details. Like, Peacock, you really don't have a leg to stand on. Like, they're not doing spectacularly well, even though they have the free tier, and they thought claiming back the exclusive rights to The Office was going to be this big boon for them. And it really hasn't. In fact, they will only just cross 1 million subscribers because they're getting WWE Network, because they're absorbing WWE Network. So yeah, they don't. You put The Office on there. You only put the first season on there, and you locked everything else behind the paywall. And even then, so yeah, I gotta try to transfer. Basically, unfortunately, because I'm already subscribed to the free tier of Peacock, I kind of just want to use that rather than merge in an entirely different account. So I will probably have to cancel my WWE Network account, start the premium tier of Peacock, especially because I want to upgrade to the commercial-free one, and because it's the same price as WWE Network at that point. And then, yeah. And then like I said, I got to figure out how to get it onto a Fire Stick, because maybe they'll cut a deal before, hopefully, but you never really know. So yeah, at least that way I can watch it with my dad again. I can watch it at my father's, and then as between now and the start of football season, I can do these things in a more timely manner. Okay, hopefully you got through all that ranting. See you all next time. Hey guys, remember to check out my Patreon at patreon.com/SleepyTime for Cat Productions, where you can help me expand my wrestling coverage to stuff beyond WWE, NXT, and the occasional AEW free show.